Welcome to Rauta and welcome to Cult of Darkness Festival. Well, technically speaking, a couple of hours before things start rolling. Today I have a very, very special guest. Why I say very, very special guest? First of all, he's a friend of mine. Secondly, one of the most important pioneer bands from Finland playing black metal. And thirdly, well, this is the second time we have Archgoat here on Rauta, but it's been more than 6 years since the previous visit, so I think it's more than a due time to do this interview and talk about things when the band turned 35 years. 35, right? All right, sir, please introduce. Who the hell are you and why are you here with me?
Kai from Ritual Butcherer from Archgoat and playing today some fast rock and roll in Helsinki.
Fast rock and roll music, and you're gonna be the headliner band today. While you are obviously from Finland, you reside nowadays in Germany, which means that Archgoat is not playing that often in Finland. How does it feel to be back on the home turf?
Fantastic. I think it's a special vibe here in Finland. Being off here, coming back now. Last time I was in Finland 1 year ago. It's always special. The vibe, the people. It's kind of Finland is special.
Yeah, it's home, but not home that much anymore.
It's always home.
Always home, at least in heart.
Yep.
So, 35 years. When we were walking down to the bar, we started talking about that you've been on a long run. 35 years is adult man's or woman's age. How does it feel to be 35 in the band?
We doesn't calculate. We just play. What I mentioned that the things that keep a band alive is a kind of having right guys playing in the band. It's still really rewarding, makes us happy to be, and also I think we've been trying to kill Archgoat for how many years, but it doesn't just die. It's weird.
It's this goat that never dies.
It's kind of weird. It doesn't. You cannot kill it.
Now, since your previous our previous encounter, which we did at the Turku Castle, and now we're having once again these railroad track sounds here. You had the new drummer and of course one other person in the band doing the backside ambience or the background ambient. He has also changed. How this lineup changes have changed how it feels to be play live with Archgoat.
I think on the stage it doesn't really make a difference, but off stage it makes a big difference. And that was what I was referring, that you have a good team, you have a really kind of can enjoy the traveling and have fun.
How important is having fun in a music which is generally seen as not having fun is okay?
I think it's kind of one of those things that I've been thinking a lot about, because there is no filter that you cannot enjoy playing black metal, and I think it's really kind of immature way of thinking that I cannot eat ice cream, I have to be unhappy to be a black metal musician. It's the years have made it me, or to guide me to a direction that it's lifestyle. I don't have to put any tough guy mask on me, just play who I am. If black metal makes me happy, I feel it's I enjoy it, even kind of use the funny word fun. I will do it.
I actually think, this is my theory, I don't know if I'm correct, but I think when those lines by Euronymous were said, no mosh, no fun and all, we're referring more to like, don't make your band funny, not like have fun instead. And this is, I think, sometimes misunderstood, like you're not supposed to have fun when you play in a band or have fun in your life, when it's actually fucking okay to do that. It would be okay, weird not to have fun playing music, right?
That kind of underlines that this scene is so much full of posers, that there are people who think that I cannot eat ice cream, I have to be always unhappy, I don't do this and that because I have to be something else which I am not, and that takes it being the honest and the true thing away from you and your music. Yeah,
that's more fake and more posing indeed.
Absolutely.
Now, talking about your music, only one album came out since the last interview which we did in 2018. So it's been quite a few years already since your 2021 album. How has things changed in terms of making music and recording albums changed when you've been out of Finland?
I think in the end, earlier what we did, we always did the songs more or less in the rehearsal place. Now I make them alone, but I also send the files to the guys, check what do you think, do I need to change something, give me your opinions, and always then before we go to studio, we at least 1 week play together and try new things and then just hit the record and do it.
And all the albums sound 100% Archgoat. There are no weird side steps or albums that we're like, what the hell is this? How come you are able to keep it together after more than 30 years?
I think that's only what I can do. I mean that I don't have skills to do anything outside of this, so it stays inside.
Do you ever get these ideas like, this is actually goddamn good riff, but it doesn't fit Archgoat? Do you get a lot of those ideas?
I do. Actually really much, and always when I play this riff or something to the other guys, they say it sounds like Archgoat. So in my head, my filter is even more tighter. But myself, I don't have any kind of things that I wouldn't do for Archgoat. It sounds good, even when somebody would say that it doesn't sound like. When it, in my opinion, is something what I want to do with Archgoat, then I will do it.
I think that's the only way to really keep the band going to the natural course of action in a way. You also had very similar and strict lyrical policy when it comes to the music. We mature and all that stuff, but you keep the lyrics, how to say, and I don't mean it in polite way, you probably know what I mean. The lyrics are in a good way quite adolescent, like going back to the roots when you were young guys, teenager guys playing arch for the same ways but with different age. How much you have to focus in keeping the Archgoat thing in the lyrical side?
I think it's never been a target to make them kind of reading between the lines immature, but it comes out like it is. It's how I want to have them. It comes out. I'm not fine polishing or sandpapering anything. It's just the way I like to do it.
Yeah, and I don't mean it like you used the word immature. Yeah, it sounds a little bit negative, and I don't feel like negative, because I think it's very cool that bands stick to their guns. You know, like keeping the style real, and you know, because Archgoat would feel suddenly very weird if the lyrical side started to be something else, like, I don't know, more poetic or whatever. It would be like, what the hell is this guy doing?
No unicorns, no unicorns.
no unicorns. So you've also been touring quite a lot. When I revisited our previous conversations for 2018, you already mentioned that you've been like at least 40 countries. And now, about 6 years plus later, obviously you've been doing more and more gigs and all that stuff. What have you learned along the way during touring and doing gigs and all that stuff past 6 years?
I don't know, learning. I didn't kind of understand your question.
I mean, you have of course seen new places and all that stuff. Has anything at all changed except for the lineup which we mentioned?
I think with time it comes to, how would I say, the areas or countries where we really want to play, and then there are these kind of meat and potato countries where you go and play and it's nothing special. But we played last weekend in Mexico, really great. Now here in Finland, really great. So you have certain places where you really kind of thinking that, oh fuck, I hope I get the possibility to go there again.
Now everybody keeps saying that Latin America is very different from Europe, for instance, when it comes to the audience, and you see that on social media, how people are, say, more passionate in Latin America, like come to Brazil, come to this and come to that and all that stuff. Whereas in Finland, you see the rock police stands, I'm enjoying the show, thank you very much. You don't even smile. How do you see it as a musician? How is the audience different?
It's from country to country. You can really, when you've been playing, you know what to expect. In Finland, I think in Finland, in my opinion, the crowd is quite wild. Then you go to some other countries where you have this Austrian shoe watchers and whatever.
Shoegazing.
Shoegazing, exactly. And in South America, you have people having mosh pits, jumping on the stage. I think do what I do. Enjoy the show on your terms. It's fine with me.
Now, talking about entering stage as audience, some people have really strict policy, like they're gonna punch you in the face. I think a lot of people have seen, like, for example, Marduk, when people go on stage and they get like wrestled down or thrown out of the stage. Whereas some bands are like more like, yeah, bring the chaos to the stage as well. Let's bring this fucking mayhem. What is your stance about the stage being holy or unholy ground in this sense?
If you do it with respect and you are not making any fucking stupid stuff, or you are not bumping into the music, if you are not bumping into the music, come, go. But if you want to make your own show on stage, we will throw you out, and that's what we've been doing quite a lot.
Have you encountered a lot of physical situations where you just have to go and throw? Yeah. Any super bad situations?
In Switzerland, we were playing, and some, I would say, Tyrannosaurus Rex-sized fat lady come on stage, and she managed to step on my pedals, and they are made of the steel.
Yeah.
And she was so fucking heavy that she stepped on my pedal, the whole fucking pedal went kaput. She being a lady, I really kind of gently but still get her off the stage, and after that we were backstage or outside drinking beer. This lady comes with her mini Kerry King looking like a fucking boyfriend. You throw my girl off the stage, yes? And he punched me in the face, and I just started to laugh because it was so fucking hilarious that mini Kerry King comes to me and...
He was defending the lady's honor.
Yeah, I hit him, of course. After I got from the laughing, I returned the favor, but it was kind of...
Like an absurd situation.
She came on stage with no respect for the band.
Yeah, and that should not, of course, happen.
Yep.
Now, talking about good memories, any super fantastic memories, like total opposite of this annoying case, something that you made like, I could never imagine things like that happen playing a show?
I think, my childhood hero, now it's kind of Danny Lilker from Napalm, from Brutal Truth and Nuclear Assault. He got asked us politely, hey guys, can I go come to visit you on backstage and before the show, and then he was standing on the side of the stage in, I think, Rochester, New York, when we were playing, so that was really cool.
Wow, that's cool. Have you met a lot of your, say, heroes or idols or cool people you never imagined back in the days when you were kid or teenager that you would meet them?
Never ever. Sorry.
Have you ever met such people?
Vittu mikä idiootti. That's kind of bad. Bad example.
People are that.
But I think there are so many to kind of put something really kind of at the moment. No, I cannot kind of. There are so many things, but in the way Morbosy that guys, for example, I get to meet a lot. Then I think my fanboy moments still have been quite few.
Yeah. I guess it's really unsuspected when it happens. Like, what the hell? This guy is here and this guy is there. And
yeah, but in the end, the circles are so small that if you walk in the backstage, you see some fucking Glenn Benton or somebody walk. It's not anymore so kind of special. Okay, they are playing here. Yeah,
things change, of course, during the years. Has maturity, you becoming older, you having family, and of course, day job and all, have these changed how you see your band and playing in a band?
No, not at all.
And of course, being geographically divided, other guys in Finland, you being in Germany, how does that affect handling Archgoat business?
I think there's such a, funny to say word, but professionality in our band that everybody does their shit, they get themselves ready to play the shows, and that's that. It doesn't, the three travel together, I travel myself alone, so for the big picture it doesn't make a difference. At
this point, do you feel you're more a live band or studio band?
We've always been live band. Myself, I hate being in studios, I hate recording. For me, it's the energy what you get from a rehearsal place, energy you get on the stage, and all the rest of the stuff is kind of necessary evil.
So it's like the mandatory evil, you have to do new songs in order to record the music and then play it live.
I like to do music, but I hate to record it. I really hate it.
Yeah, well, that's what I really mean. Like, our album's more important than playing live, not necessarily the
Live is always.
recording.
I think that's I found also funny in today's scene that earlier it was so that you had to earn your stripes to make your album or
Yeah.
even demo. Nowadays you have people doing bedroom black metal albums before even hitting the stage. And
That's so weird, right?
in my opinion, you have to earn your right to make your album, and the only way to do it by playing live shows.
Well, I gotta agree. I think we're kind of boomers here, having the old school mentality, like go playing live and then you go to the recording studio, not the other way around.
Earn your stripes, yeah.
Exactly. Well, now that you mentioned bedroom black metal, that's a funny topic because there's so many bands with just one member hitting the laptop recording button and doing the music. Even old school names that, well, Burzum, I guess, would be the prime example, never playing live, but just doing album after album after album and never bothering to, enter the stage. What do you think in general? I guess you're not a big fan of these bedroom bands that never go on stage, but just record.
No, absolutely not. But then again, if you are kind of playing, it's more about the person than the band. And if you are a person who's been doing music with other bands and being active with the scenes, not kind of hiding behind the closet door, do your bedroom black metal. But I think if you have only the guts to do it this way, and you have only this little project that you do, in my opinion, it should be kept really far from black metal.
Yeah, sometimes when I listen to those bedroom black metal bands, and I get the feeling, okay, they must be recording their voices very kind of like secret. The drums sound like as if you're playing on a table, not like a real instruments, obviously, because they're probably using drum machines and all that. It's like it's the diluted version of what being a band should be all about, and I think it's very, very far from that. How do you see it? Because you emphasize the importance of live.
Going on stage is kind of, in a way, me against the rest of the world feeling. That you go there, you put yourself there in front of everybody to see that how far does it take me? Do you have guts to do it, yes or no? It's my opinion is kind of this mentality defining topic and should be a big part of black metal. Black metal is live music. The energy of the music just alone from album is not the same when you are in the same closed environment and you get the energy from the band directly.
Now that I remember, I think this was with the previous interview or some other discussion with you back in the days. I actually remember that you pointed out that live music has been there for thousands of years, basically, whereas recorded music is, well, quite new. I mean, now we talk, of course, decades, but we're not talking about hundreds of years when people finally figured out, hey, I can, play the guitar and record it into an album, whereas live music is always the real deal. That's when your skills are put into test. No matter if you feel weak or strong, you go on stage and you perform, it's going to be always a little bit different. How much difference you feel as a musician when you go on stage? Do you have nervousness or some other days, or are you always super confident?
Not anymore, but first show which we played, and kind of now reflecting back on time, I think 91 when we played first show in Turku, that first of all the reaction of audience was kind of funny in a small pub, that you suddenly have three guys with long hair, spikes, blood and everything, and I was so nervous that I took this wide stance like a good heavy metal guitar hero, just because I was so nervous and my legs were shaking. And after the show I asked from my friend that, could you see that my legs were shaking, because I was so kind of nervous about being on stage alone and this kind of cold, deep water. Nowadays it's something I am kind of waiting that I can get out of this kind of waiting for the show boring stuff on stage, because that's where the fun starts.
Exactly. It seems like it's a very, very small fraction of time, like 45 minutes, 60 minutes of the whole 24-hour day, which makes it special. Before that, you have the boring times to wait, you have the boring times to unpack, boring times to pack shit up, and then it explodes within 60 minutes.
Many people don't kind of understand, but last week, Mexico, every one of us, we traveled one day to be in Mexico.
Yeah.
First of all, 1 day to be there, and time from us landing Mexico and leaving Mexico 24 hours. Again, 1 day of traveling. So for this 60 minutes on stage, there's so much behind it.
3 days of stuff to be done.
Yep.
And of course, rehearsing week after week and all that stuff. What people don't necessarily understand, especially I've seen it with the older bands, that you put so much energy, thousands and thousands of hours making the music, rehearsing the music, figuring out the live, traveling, packing, countless of emails, phone calls, messages. It's just that people can go to see the band 60 minutes and I want to buy your shirt.
I think many people have this romantic kind of thing that you transport yourself to the venue and
teleport,
you are on a backstage with coke and hookers. The reality is quite far from that. But then again, I'm going back to having the right guys in your band, because this grey, boring thing can be actually really fucking great. If you have
when you have the right people.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is, again, getting back that why it's being so difficult to kill this band.
I think Shatrauk from Horna mentioned once upon a time that it's like you have 23 hours of boring things or things that are not good, and then you have that 1 hour of shining light. That's quite a black and white. But you mentioned that spending time with the right guys probably means that there's more than just this 1 hour of good stuff. Would you like to, I don't know, explain this a little bit that better people understand it?
In our band, we have this philosophy that you get, like mentioned many times, only the good guys. We are friends with really many years of history behind of us, and we've been always hiring to our bands guys because of their personality, not because of their musical skills. This you learn, but you are dick or you are not dick.
Well, that's true. Assholes don't make that far.
Assholes are assholes, and for example, in Mexico, short time there, everybody fucking tired. But the great thing about guys, just go and walk and venture into the heart of Leon, find a nice barbecue place, drink beer with the guys, talk about this and that, and then you go to venue, you play, and in the end, the whole trip regarding it was fucking tiring. It was so much on a plus.
Now, talking about playing in different places, nowadays world with extreme metal is quite of a, well, how to put it, unusual world. I mean, we have cancel culture. We have people saying like, you should not play there, you should play there, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Where you position yourself, because obviously you've been, of course, I guess, more or less, targeted that you should not go to play that festival, or you should definitely play here and all that stuff. What does this make you think about the whole situation?
I think we can also speak with names, but we are now jumping into a steel fest and our cancellation, and it's kind of I think this whole thing is just like Finnish this tax office. They can point you and say that you have done this and accuse you, but they don't have any credit to say that it's here. They can just throw the fucking accusation in the air, and then it's your stuff, like with the tax office, to make the proof that no, it didn't happen. And this Steelfest situation was some Norwegian show booker asshole who just, I think, randomly got this idea, this band is Nazi or whatever fucking thing. And then we thought about it, fuck, let it happen. But then the discussion from our record label and booking agency, with us having American tour and European tour book, they told us, guys, if you want to play it, okay, but this will kill your all German shows. This will kill everything. And in the end, it was from fire to frying pan situation, that it can only end in a fucking bad way. But we discussed with the guys and make the decision that we will rather sacrifice one festival instead of all these tours and everything. And it was really, in my opinion, underlines how fucking much of rats you have on this scene, that they we've been mentioned as a NSBM black metal, and we've been around for 35 years, active over almost 30 years, and never ever we have gone into this direction or whatever. But these guys just, it's pathetic.
Basically blackmail you out of certain events.
There's absolutely.
Have you gotten any other festivals? You mentioned this one. I think some people know it, but I'm glad that you mentioned it because there are lots of people who are like, what the hell? But are there other festivals that you have to just say no because of similar cancellations?
No, there are no, and we have a booking agency who's booking our shows, and myself, I'm not even involved. I get the email about, are you interested, yes or no, and this is something what we are not really thinking about, but this one was different, and I really kind of wanted to get it out of my chest because it's something that I've been myself, I would really want to beat that fucking idiot who made this accusation because there was no truth behind it, and it caused the trouble for us, for the show promoter and everything. So I would really kind of want to have my moment with him.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of people who have who's agreeing with you, me being one of them, because this is kind of an intolerable situation. Back in the days, you wouldn't have had this kind of situation, like if you play there, you're not gonna play these shows. And nowadays, things are more, I don't know, people are walking on eggshells, basically, like you have to choose between these two. Back in the days, you didn't have that many shows anyway. You just did some shows and everything was good.
There was no politics in black metal, and for me, black metal is still, again, music without any political aspects on it. It's music with a philosophy, religion behind it, and it's kind of, I don't know, this crazy time, it brings so fucking stupid shit into the music, tree-hugging black metal, political black metal, whatever, pagan black metal, it's kind of keep black metal.
Well, exactly. I'm just wondering so many times on the channel and various comments, is like, why do you have to be part of something that kind of makes you allergic? Like recently with my friend, who I'm not going to name here for privacy reasons and whatnot, he mentioned to me, like, he was reading on Reddit on some thread of RABM. I don't know if you're familiar with Red Anarchist Black Metal. So he was reading about on the conversation which bands are safe to listen to if you want to listen to black metal, and safe, partially related, but not only to politics. And someone was even saying, like, okay, you can listen to this band because the one person who was toxic is now dead. Like back in the 90s or early 2000s, you couldn't even imagine things like this happen. What do you think about this nonsense?
I think it's not alone the black metal scene. Now you are having this kind of, I think, the crazy minorities, and I identify myself as an empty beer glass and this kind of fucking stupid shit. People have lost their kind of, oh, how friend, that's what the friends are for. But it's kind of crazy. These times are too good for people that you have energy to do this kind of stupid shit, because I bet in Ukraine they don't have problems like this that I want to myself identify yet as a almost empty beer.
Yeah, I think this is a very, very much problem with the well-doing Western countries. That when everything else is great, like they're like, hey, I have this list. What I get to complain about? I could start complaining about toxic black metal, and I think like black metal is supposed to be toxic from the get-go. I mean, by default, this is
devil's music.
This is not family-friendly music anyway.
Exactly, and it just tells that somebody has a full stomach and roof above his head.
Yeah, they're doing well, so they get to complain about the pineapples in their pizzas or wrong bands in black metal.
Yep.
All right. Now we have gone through a lot of different topics. Let's do a little bit foretelling. When can we roughly expect a new Archgoat album?
Let me put this way that for me this environment where I create music is really important. From the Horror of Bethlehem kind of funny stuff, most of the riffs were, I made most of the riffs outside in a freezing temperature, because back on the time I was smoking. Always when I went to smoke on a balcony, I took my guitar, it was winter cold, stuff got done there, now the late years I've been always wanting to have a music room with all my crazy stuff on it to kind of give me the atmosphere to create the music, and now finally I'm getting in 2 months my music room ready. I have, from the last recording, I have about eight different raw version of the songs. I have maybe 200 different riffs. That is an easy thing, but the difficult thing is to marry them together.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
put them the whole songs.
Yeah, but I would say that if I have to say something, album release 1.5, 2 years.
All right. So you probably have meanwhile some gigs and tours to do. Have you checked out your calendar for 2025, 2026?
We have now for next year we are starting with the South America tour with 7 shows. Then we are having show in Romania, 2 shows in Turkey. Then we have what do we have more? There's something more, but we have now some questions. So next year is gonna be, I'll be roughly saying about 30-40 shows coming.
Now, talking about the information that where people figure out these shows, events, tours, whatever, how important part of keeping Archgoat social media in check for you?
It's kind of also one of the necessary evil parts, because I like everything which involves my guitar minus the recording time, and you have to support the promoters at where you are playing, but outside of that I think it's mandatory evil.
Yeah. Because I know this is a very different vibe. Say, for example, if you post something and we as our friends, hey, you got a new guitar, or you're having some good white beer in a beer garden, it's very, very different, of course, when you go to see certain aspects on a band side, which is just, filled with that. And I guess there's a lot of contrast with lots of bands who don't want to be like this, communicating everything to people out there looking for the shows. But then again, you have to have the information so that people end up in the shows.
Thing always is that so many people, it's kind of maybe the trend in black metal that bring back the envelopes and stamps so I get to lick them. And the important thing is the message, not how you put the message out. Like you say, don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah, exactly.
If I would say to you now with the envelope, how are you doing, compared that I will text you how you are doing. Many people kind of see more important the method of putting the message out rather
message.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that I found is also really stupid.
Do you think people are kind of old-fashioned when it comes to extreme metal, black metal in general?
I don't think so. Old-fashioned. I think you have people who go into a modern direction. You have people who want to stay in the old. You have the kind of, how would you say, standard deviation. You have always this and that, and in the middle the big.
And in the middle of the people are more likely the most sane ones.
Yeah, normally.
All right. Any final words to the audience before we go for the next beers? Because I guess we have to be moving towards the venue tonight very soon. What kind of regards would you tell to the audience who are now their fingers ready to listen to the next music and see you guys live?
I would say that put your handies in your pocket and watch the show through your eyes, not through the handy, and kind of then you get better understanding of what the band is all about.
Well, that's a word to the wise people right there who are watching this interview. Put your smartphones in your pockets and see the man with your own eyes. If you have to take a photo, do that, but don't be the silly one being in the audience 45 minutes like this and then seeing nothing happening. And of course, witness these guys on stage when you can. They play good, fierce, aggressive show, and they give you old school black metal 1991, well, technically 1989 from Finland. So one of the cornerstones of Finnish black metal. I hope this interview gave you a little bit of understanding what these guys have been doing, and always a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for this conversation. Guys, wait for the next album, and meanwhile, go to see the shows. This is Rauta, this is Archgoat, and this is Cult of Darkness. Off you go. Kiitos.
Kiitos.
Tämä oli hyvä sessio ja jätetään vähän vielä sinne seuraavaankin kertaan. Kiitos kun jaksoitte kuunnella.